Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Mike Francesa podcast, part of the Bet Rivers Network. We come to you after we have completed the Sunday edition. We still have a Sunday night game, but we have completed the Sunday edition, including the Bills' 28-21 win, a good win for them over the Chiefs. I really question, though, at the end of the game, what they were thinking, the Bills. You got the clock down. You did the right thing, 3rd and 7, ran the ball, ran the clock down. Punt the ball, pooch it down there. He's going to have a couple of seconds in a long field. If you try to make the game-winning field goal, that would ice the game, obviously. There's no Mahomes magic. But leave him down the other end of the field with no timeouts and inside 20 seconds. He's not going to score. But you missed the field goal. Now you give him a chance with one completion, which he makes, to get shots at the end zone, which he got. He almost hit it in the end zone, which would have tied the game up. I thought that was a terrible, terrible decision on the Bills' part on a day when the Bills had a very good offensive game plan. This looked like the real Josh Allen. We haven't seen him in a while. He had a very good game today, 23 out of 26 for 275. He even dusted off a little bit of his runs today, which we haven't seen at all. 6 rushes for 19 yards, nothing spectacular, but he's not been running. They even had a design run once in the game. It's only the second time this year. But the key is their ability to run the ball today with Cook. The Chiefs don't let anybody run on them. They ran on him today. They ran for 141 yards. He rushed for 114 yards on 27 carries. That's a really good yeoman's work day for Cook and set up a balanced offense for the Bills. Now, the Bills got up and were able to hold off the Chiefs. Chiefs can't be happy with the way their defense played today. I thought, listen, the Chiefs did some good things on defense, but they gave up 400 yards. They gave up 140 yards rushing. They didn't force any turnovers. They didn't change the field or change the momentum. Do I take away from this game that Buffalo is better than Kansas City? No. But now Kansas City's 5-4. And that kind of derails their run to play in every game at home. The Bills put themselves back in what is a wide open AFC as far as the number 1 seed. Now remember, Colts lost today. So they now have 2 losses. Pats have 2 losses. Okay. Pittsburgh won today, so they help themselves. People are still worried about the Ravens, and why not? But you have New England with 2 losses. You have Buffalo with 2 losses. You have Denver, which came back and won that game today. They knocked Stroud out at 7-2. You got Pittsburgh with 3 losses. You got the Chargers with 3 losses, and now you have Kansas City with 4 losses. Kansas City's going to make the playoffs. You know that. But they're not going to be the number 1 seed. That's not going to happen. That could have happened if they won the game today. It's not going to happen now. And that's a big telling point. Now, Jacksonville won a game today where if you had told me today, and I picked Jacksonville, I thought Jacksonville would score 20 points today, and that would be enough because the Raiders haven't been able to move the ball at all. But they got Bowers back today after a couple of weeks, and that was the difference because he had a magical game. He's a tremendous player. He had, I think, 13 catches for well over 100 yards and 3 touchdowns. And they got the ball. The Jacksonville tied it up after letting them take the lead late. They tied it up, went to overtime. They scored in overtime. They left 3 minutes on the clock. Obviously, they came back down the field. They got the ball in the end zone. The Raiders did with Bowers for his 3rd touchdown of the day. This is one of the rare productive games that Geno Smith has had this year. And they missed a 2-point conversion at the end of the overtime period, and they get out with a win. Jacksonville, not an impressive win, but a win. But I thought better of the Jacksonville defense, which allowed the Raiders 20 points in the second half, 23 points in the second half if you count overtime. That's a lot. That's a lot. And they took the lead a couple of times, and you'd figure one stop and you're out. But they couldn't stop Bowers. He just had, he was back to being like he was last year. 12 catches for 127 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's an insanely good day. But Jacksonville got out with a win, which was the most important thing. Now, let me first tell you about the newsletter. Remember, sign up for the Mike Francesa newsletter. You'll get exclusive content, contests, offers. Go to the Mike Francesa podcast and sign up. And remember, it is absolutely free. Now, this was a bizarre day in the NFL. This was a strange day. You had the Rams doing what you expect the Rams to do, and I believe the Rams are the best team in the NFC. They are 2 plays away from being 8-0. They are 6-2. But did I think that the Vikings with McCarthy back would beat the Lions? No, I did not. I did not think they would beat the Lions in Detroit. I did not. I have to admit, I did not. Now, I didn't want to pick the Lions with all those points, but the bottom line was the Lions ran the ball for 65 yards. Gibbs had 9 rushes for 25 yards. Vikings did a great job against the run. I mean, a great job. I mean, Gibbs had 28 scrimmage yards. This is one of the most productive players in the sport. He had 28 scrimmage yards today. 28 in a huge win. A win that keeps the Vikings vibrant, keeps the Vikings alive, puts the Lions at 5-3. But if you're thinking, boy, the Packers must have rubbed their hands and said, thank you for the gift. We're playing Carolina today. Well, they lost to Carolina. Battle, who became the number 1 back now full-time, had 130 yards rushing. Packers didn't play good offense. They lost tight end Tucker Kraft, probably for the season with an ACL. Boy, so many players going down, and he's an exciting player. But the Packers lose one of their best weapons and lose to Carolina at home on a day when Minnesota beats the Lions. So if you had told me this morning, hey, I got a double for you. Minnesota's going to win in Detroit, and Carolina, as a 13.5-point underdog, is going to win outright in Green Bay. I have to admit, I wouldn't have believed it, nor would anybody else. That is a stunning development, which shakes up things dramatically. The Pats won today. They held off the Falcons. The Falcons, I hate to pick on them, but they're really badly coached. And today, London gets 3 touchdowns. They come back. They should be tying up the game. And what do? They miss the extra point. They will find a way to lose no matter what the situation. They will find a way to lose. I mean, that's all there is to it. And if you have Robinson, he's got to get the ball. I'm sorry. He's got to get the ball. And I know you want to flip it to him out of the backfield. That's fine. But he can't have 12 rushes in a game. He's too good. You've got to use him as a primary weapon. And obviously, London's a big-time player. And Penix came back. You know, he has good games. He has bad games. Penix, you know, he's not consistent. He's still growing on the job. Today he had a good day. It was 22 of 37, 221, 3 touchdowns, no intercepts, all to London. Atlanta has talent. What they don't have is the least bit of consistency, and they have fallen apart after the win over Buffalo. While since the Pats have beaten Buffalo, and that's the difference. That's coaching. That's leadership. That's having a culture. The Pats have not lost. They have not lost since they beat the Bills. They are 7-2. And I understand their schedule in the Bills game hasn't been the hardest. This week they play, though, at Tampa. So we're going to get a real good test. We got a good test for the Colts today. They caught a Pittsburgh team that had lost a couple of tough games, given up a lot of points. So you know the head coach was on the defense all week. Okay, today you look at the Colts, you look at their success, and you say, I got to deal with A, Daniel Jones. I got to deal with B, Taylor. I got to deal with C, Warren, the tight end. Daniel Jones throws 3 intercepts. Warren gets, I think, 45 yards rushing. And Warren has the quietest game, 5 catches for 26 yards, no impact today. So they shut down or stopped all the big weapons and went on to a game that looks closer than it should have, 27-20. But the Steelers were in command of this game. Now the Steelers are 5-3. The Colts are 7-2. But things are starting to warm up. And then there's Denver. Denver got a, you knew they were going to play a nasty game. They were going to play a tough game against the Texans, who are a good defensive team. Both teams have a pass rush. Both teams are ornery. Both teams have good defensive game plans. Both teams can be suspect offensively. Stroud goes down with a concussion. Mills has the quarterback. They still don't get anything out of Chubb or Marks. Chubb goes 11 for 34. Marks goes 10 for 27, so they don't get the running game established. They don't make any big plays. They make a couple of plays, but no big plays in the one play to Schultz. That was it in the passing game. And Denver comes up late, wins the game, moves to 7-2. Denver at 7-2. So you have a wide open AFC as far as seeding goes. Wide open. And there's going to be a lot decided in these coming weeks. A lot. The trading deadline is Tuesday, 4 p.m. There are teams looking for specific things. San Francisco's looking for a pass rusher. Green Bay's looking for a defensive back. Some teams are looking for a running back, knocking on the Jets' door for Hall. That would be KC. That would be Houston. That would be the Chargers. Would they trade Hall? I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out. Is he their future? We know how much talent he has. You put him in Kansas City, watch out. I mean, they will utilize him so well. It will be unbelievable. Now, so we look ahead to the next week's games. Ravens and the Vikings. Ravens can't afford any more defeats. Vikings don't have any real margin for error. That's a big game. Pats, Bucks, both teams with 2 losses. Both teams having good years. Bucks have done it despite having a lot of injuries. Pats getting leadership, improving defense, and obviously May, who continues to play really well. Rams played 49ers. The Rams are better. Steelers play the Chargers on Sunday night, and the Eagles and Packers will mix it up on Monday night. So you got some good games to end the week there. As far as the trade deadline goes, don't buy anything about Cleveland trading Myles Garrett. It's not happening. Okay, it's not happening. Despite the fact he's unhappy, they're not trading him. It's not happening. Okay. Now, could there be some backs moved? Yes. Can the Giants get a wide receiver? They need one. They really need a weapon for Dart. They really do. They gotta try and win some games here. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games left to play. They gotta try and win some games. And they need a weapon. Dart needs a weapon. You don't want him running around out there, risking his head all the time. He needs a weapon. Can they get one? Well, Miami says they're not trading Waddle. New Orleans says they're not trading Olive. I don't know where he's coming from. I don't know what guy would be traded out there. I don't know if there'll be any big trades. The Giants want a number 1 for Thibodeau. If they would trade him, they want a number 1 for him. I don't think somebody's going to do that. So I mean, Hubbard could move from Carolina because he's been demoted, and some team might take a shot on him. He runs hard. He's not a star, but he's a solid everyday back. He could get traded. There'll be some trades, but I don't think there'll be any real eye openers. Nothing crazy. And I don't know if any quarterbacks would be moved. I really don't know. And if you wonder about that Bears-Bengal game today, I mean, you know what kind of defense we're talking about with the Bengals. They showed you that last week. So was there any surprise that the Bears went in and got 47 points today? Okay. Cleveland had a big game. The rookie back had a big game. Williams threw 3 touchdown passes. I mean, the bottom line is their defense is just atrocious. I mean, absolutely atrocious. Flacco was 31 of 47 for 470 yards and 4 touchdowns, and he can't win the game. 31 of 47 for 470 and 4 touchdowns. Their defense is an absolute sieve right now. Now, tomorrow night, it's Jacoby Brissett again at quarterback. He's played well in 2 weeks, but I think the Cowboy offense is going to light up Arizona. I really do. And I think they'll win that game tomorrow night. I think they'll score a lot of points. You saw a 68-yard field goal today. I'm sure you saw that with Cam Little. I think Aubrey's going to kick a 70-yard field goal sometime soon. I don't know exactly what date, but I think he's going to do that. What you would say about the NFL right now is it's pretty wide open. I think if anybody is emerging, it's the Rams. And I think they're going to get better and better. A veteran quarterback who knows how to win. A coach who knows how to win, who knows how to game plan, who knows how to make adjustments. 2 great receivers as a tandem. Solid running back. I think that they're 2 plays away. A blocked field goal against the Eagles, a fumble on the goal line against the Niners, away from being 8-0. They are going to be very tough to beat the rest of the way. I think they're going to the Super Bowl. I thought they were all along. I had picked the Ravens, so I have to ride with them. I don't even know if they can make the playoffs. But they're my other team. So next up is obviously not a bad Sunday night game because both quarterbacks are playing, which makes it a lot better. And Dallas tomorrow night, a few Dallas fans, and the trade deadline Tuesday. And we'll see if anybody gets any real appreciable help. Do the Jets trade people away? Do the Giants get a wide receiver? I don't think they can get it back because I don't think there's a back anywhere to get. I really don't. So we'll see what happens. That's the bottom line. We'll see what happens. But if anything, what this week showed you is how wide open this league is right now, how unpredictable it is Sunday to Sunday. I mean, Carolina winning in Green Bay, Minnesota shutting down the Lion running game in Detroit. That's surprising stuff. Enjoy your evening.